this video is going to be so kind of disjointed. I feel it's going to be so full of frustration because I just feel like we're losing a sense of that we love Dunfermline Athletic, and a lot of that has been down to this season, and I just think that we need to get that back. We need to get the proper love for Dunfermline Athletic Football Club back, and if that means bringing in young players on a lower budget and investing a few years into that project and watching these young players grow, then I'm all for it. Just before I start, don't be negative, and for anyone that was, stop being negative. That includes myself. Dunfermline Athletic and the chairman, Ross MacArthur, have released a statement, an end of season statement, to say what is the current situation at the club, and overall it made for pretty grim reading. A lot of it is pretty bad stuff to read. I'm not going to say negative, I don't want people to be negative. Obviously the stuff that was in the statement is not pretty reading. A loss in the financial year of 2018-19 and a pretty much drastic decline in recent years of Centenary Club Lifeline subscriptions. It's not good reading. However, I personally feel for the guy, right? And a lot of people understandably look at it as all the kind of ups and downs of last season were down to the decision making of the board, Ross MacArthur, etc, etc, giving Alan Johnson a 2-year deal and allowing him to spend the playing budget like he did. However, that was Alan Johnson's prerogative to go and spend it how he wanted to spend it, and Ross MacArthur obviously had to back his manager. That's just how it had to be. The main mistake, and I'll highlight the word mistake because he's not meaning to do these mistakes, was giving Alan Johnson a 2-year deal, and for what I can take from it, we're still having to pay him off from the contract that he was given. But I just don't want to be negative anymore about my club. I love them too much. I may not wear the kit, I may not wear the scarf to every single game, but over the course of this season, all the frustration that you've seen in vlogs, all the frustration that you've seen in episodes of The Last Word, anywhere that I've mentioned Dunfermline, it's all because I love this club. It's nothing to do with the fact that I'm going to slate Ross MacArthur and start having a go at the board for every single decision that they make, and when he brings out a statement like he did today, to jump on the back of him and be like, oh well, it was your fault, you're to blame, you're to this. He's a human being and he's not meaning to do anything to harm Dunfermline Athletic. He said in the statement himself, most of what the board does is voluntary, and a lot of what happens at the club is on a voluntary basis. There's so many people behind the scenes at the club that do so much that goes unnoticed, and I bet that the majority of things that people look at, especially football fans, they look at what's happening on the pitch and that's pretty much it. For some people that's where it ends. For some people they look a bit further than that, and for some people they maybe go the extra mile, and like your volunteers at Dunfermline, they go that extra mile and they see behind the scenes stuff. But I would say the majority of fans stick with the on the field stuff, and that's as far as they go with it. And in my opinion, that's where most of the kind of toxicity, apathy kind of comes from, because you don't look at the rest of it. I don't know if I should be holding back for saying any of this, but this is how I feel. I feel like a lot of people just jump on the bandwagon of looking at we're shite on the pitch, so that means everything else must be shite. I just don't get why we need to constantly be on the back of the board like they're the enemy. They're not, and they don't want it to be the worst case scenario for Dunfermline Athletic. They want the best for the club, and I just feel like the majority of people always just look at it as the playing side of it and never look beyond that. Like, it's a human thing being part of this football club because of the voluntary nature of it. You have to have a good heart to be able to be involved with this club, because you're not getting any monetary gain from it on the majority of occasions. So you need to love this club to be involved with it, and to support this club you're going to have to love the club enough to stick by them through the good and the bad. A few seasons ago, when we were going through the shit with administration, It was Through Thick and Thin was the season ticket campaign. That was the name of the season ticket campaign. And ever since then, ever since the club's been saved, and I've fallen into the trap of it as well, I'm not saying that I'm perfect. It's kind of fallen into the trap of that we just constantly look at the on the pitch stuff, and I'm starting to now look at it as the behind the scenes stuff and how people are actually affected by these changes. There's now ticket prices getting put up because of the situation that we're in with the financial loss in the season of 2018-19. We're having to continuously in that statement ask the fans to get behind the Centenary Club lifeline because it's such a vital income for the club. With the new vision that the club want to go with for the next season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, I'm going to be fully behind that, because albeit the ambitions and the kind of outlook for the club will have to change, the realistic ambitions of the club in terms of getting promoted straight away, that might have to change. It might not. But if it comes out on the worst case scenario that we're not challenging for Christ, I can't get my words out. If it turns out to be the worst case scenario that we're not challenging for promotion in the next 2 years, so be it. If the club is now running on a lower playing budget, if the club is now having to make cuts where necessary to keep the club running, if you love the club, you'll put up with that. The negativity has to stop. Reading through dafc.net, for example, yes, there is people on that site that talk some sense, right? And there's people that understand the situation, and there's people who get what Ross MacArthur's trying to say and completely understand it. But you then get the person coming in saying, oh look, well, his mistake cost us this, and yes, it did, but he's not meant it. He's not the demon. He's not trying to ruin Dunfermline Athletic Football Club. He's actually trying to do the complete opposite, and he's just a human, and he's made a fucking error. Like, I just don't get the mentality of coming online just to slate everything. All of my stuff, it's very kind of light-hearted stuff. I'm back there the week after because I want to be. If I was having to pay for my own tickets, as I said, my dad does help me a lot. But if I was paying for my own tickets, which, as I said, could easily be happening as near as next season, then I would still be just backing the club each and every week. I wouldn't be picking and choosing my games or picking and choosing who I blame and stuff like that. I would be backing this club, and I just hate seeing the negativity online and about certain situations with the club in terms of Jackie McNamara being involved. You constantly see it. It's always slated when Jackie McNamara's name comes up now just because of his previous dealings with clubs. He's in a role where he's talking to the board and helping them out, and then obviously he's got his own wee kind of thing with transfer targets and stuff like that. But it's not a case of he is now running the whole transfer committee or anything like that. It's just a case of he's there to consult the board and help them out on footballing matters. And then he's obviously got his own pool of players, but that doesn't mean that it's the only players we're choosing from. We still are in the market of the rest of world football. We won't just be picking from a certain pool of players that Jackie McNamara has in his portfolio. We'll be picking players that we want to pick. Young, hungry talent from the lower leagues that has potential to grow and be better. And I want to fully get behind that now. I really do. And this video is going to be so kind of disjointed, I feel. It's going to be so full of frustration because I just feel like we're losing a sense of that we loved Dunfermline Athletic, and a lot of that has been down to this season, and I just think that we need to get that back. We need to get the proper love for Dunfermline Athletic Football Club back, and if that means bringing in young players on a lower budget and investing a few years into that project and watching these young players grow, then I'm all for it, because I'm just sick of negativity, thinking negatively about the team as well, because I've done that so much this season. It even meant after the Ross County game in February I had to take a week off social media because of stuff that was happening on Twitter and conversations that I'd had and how negatively I was feeling subsequently of the football. So I just want to get back to feeling happy about my team, and if this summer we're going to see a load of different players coming in that are young, hungry and vibrant. I'm going to back that. Stevie Crawford, Greg Shields, if Callum Davidson's still here, then him as well. Dunfermline Athletic Football Club, they've got my full backing now. We need to make sure that this club is in a good financial state for the next couple of seasons at least, until we can really start looking at pushing for the Premiership. As I said, pushing for the Premiership could happen any year. Look at Livingston and Ayr United and even Inverness. Inverness have been challenging since they came down, and yes, they've had Premiership payments from when they got relegated, but they're on a low budget and anything's possible. So, I'm sorry if I've offended anyone in this video, but I just wanted to get all my feelings kind of out there. I wanted to make it known that I'm supporting this full steam ahead, because it's just so disheartening to see fans lose connection with the club when we were so in with that just a couple of years ago in League One, for example. I really want us to get back to the good times, and let's hope that that's this season coming. Like the video if you did enjoy it. Please comment down below what you think, and if you agree with me, and whatever. If you don't agree with me as well, let me know. And subscribe for more of this type of content. I promise that I will not be this frustrated anymore, because I've let off my steam. So, until the next video, which will be tomorrow's video with Jenny, I'll see you then. Cheers guys.